Chin chin, folks. Time to celebrate as the Premier League comes back. Bottoms.
That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today, we're looking at the Premier League. It is back, folks. Matchday number 30, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. Woo, we got it all here under one roofski. That's right. Now, before we get into it, big shout out. Round of applause to the Patreon gang. You know who you are. And of course, we did get a brand new, squeaky clean new one just last week. So, welcome aboard, Bianca Moller. That's right. Thank you for joining the Patreon. She joins the rest of the chasing pack. Russell Frost, Cody Gaho, Tom Clark, Tom Beresford, the legend John Spurn, Aztec Mark Me Mark, No Code Drinker, Daniel Meller, and of course, this new one, Bianca Moller. So, welcome to the gang. That's right. Now, if you want to join the exclusive VIP gang, there is a link right here, boys and girls, right here. You can support my work over on Patreon, patreon.com/roverseas. But anyway, let's get into the action, shall we? Okay, folks, here we go then. Taking a look at, of course, the criteria, just like before. If you get 0 to 4, you're in the shit-faced gang. If you get 5 to 7, you're in the straight-faced club. And if you get 8+, you're in the top banana. So how did I get on, folks, last time around? And then, of course, we'll take a little look at how you guys got on. So all the way back in March 7th, it was Liverpool. They took on Bournemouth. That ended up as a 2-1 win for the champions-elect, should we say. I actually went with a 3-0 win for Liverpool, so I'm not too shabby on that bad boy. Arsenal did take on West Ham. They ended up with a 1-0 win in the end as well. I went with a 2-1 win myself, not too shabby. Next up, we have Crystal Palace against Watford. That was an all-London affair, and that ended up as a 1-0 win for Palace. Big win for them. I actually went with the 2-1 win for Watford. Of course, they were on a bit of a rise themselves after that recent result against Liverpool. But yes, 2-1 in the end. Next up, it was Sheffield United. They took on Norwich. Big result again for Sheffield United. Continues to defy the odds, flying high and the top of the table, towards the top end of the table anyway. 1-0 there. I actually went with the 2-0 win for the Blades, so they were happy with that. Next up, it was Southampton. They took on the Saints, and a big result for the big boys for next season. Newcastle United 1-0 winners in the end. Actually with a 3-0 win for the Saints, so I got that one wrong. Next up, it was Wolves against Brighton. That ended up as a 0-0 draw. Actually went with a 2-0 win for Wolves. A bit of a couple of drop points there. And then six-fingered freakazoids Burnley. That's right. They took on Spurs. That ended up as a 1-1 draw. I actually went with a 2-1 win in favour of Spurs, Mourinho and co. So Mourinho, the ginger Mourinho, ousted, or at least levelled it with the normal Mourinho. Chelsea took on Everton. Comfortable, a monstrous win. 4-0 in the end for them. Actually went with a 2-2 draw. Also, forgot the right amount of goals, but just didn't distribute them correctly. And United did take on City, the Battle of Manchester, and it was a 2-0 win for United. I actually went with what did I go for? A 3-2 win? Something like that. And then wrapping it up there, Leicester City against Villa. A bit of a derby as well on that bad boy. And it was a 4-0 win for Leicester. I actually went with a cheeky 3-1 win. So we've got the right amount of goals on that as well. So what about you boys? Let's take a little look at how you guys got on. In fact, before we do that, here's how I got on. Here's the official announcement. I got myself 4, which puts me in the old straight-faced gang, boys. And just in case you don't know, this is what the situation looks like with the Premier League as it stands. That's right. Liverpool leading the way, of course, by a country mile. Manchester City are in second ahead of Leicester City, who have played 1 game more with 53 points. And Chelsea are in 4th, also played 29 games. They have 5 points adrift at the moment, but that could also change very, very soon as well. Down the foot of the table is Norwich. Going down, it looks like Villa and Bournemouth battling out at the moment, but it's very, very tight down there. I think anybody realistically from 15th down has to be looking over their shoulder. Who will get the better out of the situation once the Premier League returns this coming week? So you've seen how I got on the old prediction stakes. What about you? Let's take a little look at how you guys got on. Matchday number 29. Mitchell Shoney, not too shabby. Paul Jatang, absolute gash. Mohamed Naru, also pretty gash as well. Miles and Austin, he also did pretty, not too shabby as well. William AFCB, not too shabby. Russell Frost, the ledge. Is he a Patreon? He's a Patreon, of course. He's a straight-faced gang. Darren YT, not too shabby. Carl BTW, not too shabby as well. Joachim Johansson, of course, the ledge. He's also a Patreon. Straight-faced gang for him. Byron Smith, not too shabby. Nadine Kadanka did pretty poop. And LG and Cal, former friend of the channel. LG and Cal, friend of the channel as well. Straight face gang. Moving on, Harrison Crane, not too shabby. Andrew Walters did absolute stinkeroo. Cody Cahoe, of course, legend. Patreon, unfortunately, not too good this time around. West Ham Cyber Leader, not too bad. Blue FC did okay. Shane O'Donnell, not too shabby. Vincent Hung, also pretty good for himself. Omaji Monday, of course, predicting King himself, did poop this past time out. Gaming Field, how did you get on? You did all right. Sanders, not too shabby as well. Riz Ratish also did pretty good. AB Ebscom, not he did absolute gash. You need a bit of it. Up your stakes next time around, buddy. Lucas Jones, he did pretty poop. Bianca Malula Patreon did pretty well for herself. Ilamacho Dilonosa Isa did pretty pants. Yannick Bustler also did gash. Yao for VMPP did also pretty well. Brad Pitford, not too shabby. Bear Hoagie, he also did not too shabby. Andrew Walters, what did he do? He didn't do nothing. Okay, wasn't okay. He was shit. Christine Manning was also pretty poop, but not too shabby. Zane B, not too shabby. Lightning Black also did very well for himself. We are QPR did gash. And Nathan Heaver, also friend of the channel, not too shabby. So here we go, folks. Of course, it is matchday number 30, but there are a couple of other games this week to make it a super duper extra long Premier League weekend. And of course, on its return as well. Again, just in case you don't know, there's gonna be no fans. That's right. It's gonna be completely bare. So maybe some teams will be better at responding to that than others. But anyway, we're gonna kick it all off. This Wednesday is Aston Villa against Sheffield United. That's right, I said Wednesday. And it's all guns blazing. Double match day. Well, at least 2 games on that day. And let's take a look at it, shall we? So Aston Villa against Sheffield United. The last 6 encounters between these two sides. You heard it. Here we go, boys. 1 win for Villa. 3 wins for Sheffield United. 2 draws along the way. They did play at Bramall Lane earlier in the season. It was a comfortable 2-0 win for Sheffield United. That's right, John Fleck with a brace. The last time they played at Aston Villa was all the way back in February 2019. It was a 6-goal barnstormer. Billy Sharp, he's got himself a hat-trick. They were 3-0 up before Villa came back and drew 3-3. 3 very late goals, all within the last 10 minutes. Mings, Abraham and Green. Heading into this, of course, Sheffield United looking absolutely unbelievable. 5 wins out of the past 6. Their only slip-up was a draw against Brighton. Meanwhile, Villa have actually lost 5 of the past 6 games. In fact, that's 5 on the bounce. Yeah, so the bookmakers' odds on this son of a gun, it takes place 2-1 for Aston Villa, 13-10 for Sheffield United, 12-5 is the draw. Of course, Villa are in second from bottom, 19th spot, but a win could see them rise all the way up to 16th. Sheffield United are in 7th, a win away from going as high as 5th. For me, I'm going to go with a cheeky 2-1 win for Aston Villa, that's right. I don't know why, I just think it's against the form book, it's against the bookies, it's against everything, but maybe, just maybe, this break has done them well, and they'll come back with a spring in their step. So I'm going to go with a cheeky 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Next up, we have Manchester City against Arsenal. Just a bit of a barnstorm in this one. Taking place also on Wednesday. Of course, champions at the moment, and for another week at least. Manchester City taking on Arsenal. The last 6 encounters see 6 wins for Guardiola's boys. 6 out of 6 against Arsenal. And they did play at the Emirates earlier in the season. It was a 3-0 win for Manchester City, away from home, of course. They've also beat them 3-1 the last time they played over at the Etihad. So quite convincing victories in the end. Heading into this, Manchester City actually 4 wins of the past 5. Their last encounter was, of course, a defeat to their bitter rivals up in Manchester United. Arsenal, on the flip side, also 5 wins of the past 6 games. Their only defeat was against Olympiacos, which saw them crash out of the Europa League. Heading into this, Arsenal have actually drawn their last 5 away matches in the Premier League, but Man City have actually won 28 of their last 33 home matches, and they'll look forward to getting another one here. The bookmakers' odds 4-11 on in favour of Manchester City. 7-4 is the draw. 30-2 is the away win. A win for Arsenal, who are currently find themselves in 9th, could see them rise up to 6th. The win for City in 2nd could see them open up a good 7-point lead over Leicester City in 3rd. I'm actually going to go with the champions on this one. 3-0. It's probably the last time we can call them that, because it's probably going to be all over very, very soon. Next up, we have that's in fact match day number 29. You know, the conclusion of it. We're now into match day number 30, and it's Norwich up against Southampton. Let's take a look at that son of a gun then, shall we? Where is it? There it is. Norwich against Southampton. Last 6 encounters sees 1 win for Norwich, 4 wins for the Saints, 1 draw along the way. They played over at St Mary's in Southampton early in the season. It was a 2-1 win for the Saints. Danny Ings and Ryan Bertrand with the goals. Timu Pukki, the 1-0 goal for Norwich. The last time they played in the Carrow Road was a 2-2 draw. That's right. Virgil van Dijk on the score sheet for Southampton. It was back in 2017. And Maya Yoshida as well on the score sheet for Southampton. Stephen Whittaker and Stephen Naismith on the score sheet for the Saints way back when. Heading into this, the Southampton have actually just won once of the past 6 games. That was against Aston Villa. Norwich have actually won 2 of the past 3 games, beating Leicester City and Tottenham in the FA Cup. They did use to Sheffield United last time around. Heading into this, the bookmakers' odds 21-10 for Norwich, 30-5 is the draw, 23-20 is the away win for Southampton. A win for Norwich in 20th could see them get a little bit closer to Villa. In in 19th spot. A win for Southampton in 14th. Could see them rise up to 12th in 30 with 37 points on the board. I've actually gone with a 1-0 win for the Canaries on this one. Again, I think these teams are actually closer than they appear in the old table. So a 1-0 win in the end. Next up we have Spurs. That's right, up against Manchester United. It's the Mourinho derby. That's right, taking place at Tottenham's Fancy Stadium. But there will be no fans, folks. There will be no fans. Anyway, the last 6 encounters between these two sides sees 2 wins for Tottenham, 4 wins for United, no draws. They did play at Old Trafford earlier in the season, around about December time. It was a 2-1 win for United. Rashford with the brace. Dele Alli, he won't be there because of his little Corona shenanigans. He'll be out. 39 minutes on the clock he scored back in Old Trafford. The last time they played in Tottenham, wherever that is, was a friendly. Doesn't really count, but the last game that really mattered was a 1-0 win for United. Again, Rashford on the score sheet. United are actually undefeated in the last 5 matches in the Premier League, but Spurs have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 3 home matches, so they'll fancy their chances heading into this. United 4 wins of the past 5, and the other one was a draw. Spurs on the flip side, 5 defeats of the past 6 games. It's looking woeful. They'll need to get themselves back to winning ways, and maybe, just maybe, the break will do them good. You never know. Bookmakers odds on this one taking place on Friday, the 19th of June. 7-4 for United. 7-4 for Tottenham, sorry. 5-2 is a draw. 7-5 is United. They are favourites. Yes, they are. Believe me it or not. A win for Spurs in 8th. Could see them rise above Wolverhampton into 6th. United are in 5th. A win for them. Could see them leapfrog Chelsea into your Champions League spots, boys and girls. Tough one to call this one. But I'm going with a 2-2 draw. 4-goal thriller. Barnstormer. That's what we want to see, especially in front of the cameras. Next up, who do we have? We have Watford up against Leicester City. That's right. Heading into this, the last 6 encounters between the two sides sees 2 wins for Watford, 4 wins for Leicester, 0 draws. They played over at King Power Stadium early in the season. It was a 2-0 win for Leicester. Vardy and Maddison on the score sheet. The last time they played at Vicarage Road was around about March 2019. 2-1 win in the end for the Hornets with Troy Deeney, Andre Gray on the score sheet. Jamie Vardy once again on the score sheet for Leicester. Watford have actually scored at least 2 goals in the past 5 in 5 of the last 6 home matches, and they've also kept a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 matches. They were on a good bit of form. In fact, they are still they're not. Leicester actually are not too shabby bit of form. 2 wins in the past 6 games. They've also lost twice in the past 6 games as well. Meanwhile, Watford are actually lost twice in the past 4, and they also picked up a monstrous win against Liverpool a couple games back. Bookmakers odds on this one taking place on Saturday, the 20th of June. 11-5 for Watford. 23-20 is Leicester City. 5-2 is the draw. Leicester City coming to 3rd in the table. A win away from going 1 point adrift of City. A win for Watford, who in 17th spot. Could see them rise up to 15th above Brighton into well clear of the relegation zone. I'm actually going to go with a 2-1 win for Watford. I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Next up, we have Brighton, Hove Albion up against Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal's second game in this cluster. They're losing the first one. Will they lose the second one? Probably not. The last 6 encounters between the two sides sees 2 wins for Brighton, 2 draws, and 2 wins for Arsenal. They played over at Emirates earlier in the season. It was a 2-1 win for Brighton. That's right. Adam Webster and Neil Mopey on the score sheet. Alexander Lacazette on the score sheet for Arsenal. In fact, Brighton are actually unbeaten against Arsenal in the last 4 encounters. You've got to go all the way back to 2017 in the Premier League for Arsenal's last victory. That was a 2-0 win. Nacho Monreal and Alex Iwobi on the score sheet way back in October 2017. Arsenal have actually drawn the last 5 away matches. But as Brighton have actually failed to win the last 9 matches in the Premier League. The bookmakers odds on this will take place on Saturday the 20th of June. 12-5 for Brighton. Now 5-2 is the draw. 21-20 is the away win. A win for the Gunners, who currently find themselves in 9th. Could see them rise above Wolves into 6th. Brighton are in 15th, but a win away from them could close the gap to Southampton in 14th to a couple of points or not. But I'm going to go with the Gunners on this one. They're going to break the hoodoo and finally beat Brighton in the end. Next up, we have West Ham United up against Wolves, taking place also on Saturday the 20th of June. Late kickoff on this one. The last 6 encounters sees 2 wins for the Hammers, 3 wins for the Wolves, and 1 draw along the way. It's actually 3 games unbeaten for Wolves. In fact, 3 wins on the spin against West Ham in all competitions and in all grounds. You've got to go all the way back to 2016 in the FA Cup for West Ham's last win over Wolves. Nika Jelavic on the score sheet for the Hammers. However, they did play in Molineux earlier in the season. It was a 2-0 win for Wolves. Don Donaka and Cutrone, who's no longer with the club, were on the score sheet for Wolves. Wolves. Wolves actually undefeated in their last 5 matches in the Premier League, whereas West Ham have just won once in the past 6, and that was against Southampton a couple of games back. Bookmakers odds on this one taking place on Saturday, late kickoff. 23-10 for the Hammers. 12-5 is the draw. 23-20 is the away win. When I say late kickoff, there's actually a game later than that, but you know what I mean, pal. You know what I mean. A win for West Ham in 16th could see them rise above Brighton into 15th. A win for Wolves in 6th could see them jump above United into 5th. It's a tough one, this one, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Wolves. Give them the edge, the benefit of the doubt, and take home the 3 points. Here is the late kickoff. It is Bournemouth up against Crystal Palace on Saturday, the 20th of June. It's probably on TV somewhere. I'm pretty sure of it. Anyway, the last 6 encounters sees 1 win for Bournemouth, 3 wins for Palace, 2 draws along the way. Palace actually back-to-back wins over Crystal Palace, but they've both been at Selhurst Park. The last time they played at the Vitality was a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. That's right. So, yeah, an even match, this one. I think it could go either way. But Palace on a rich vein of form before the old lockdown, picking 3 1-0 wins on the spin in all competitions. In fact, they were all in the Premier League. They beat Newcastle, they beat Brighton, and they beat Watford as well. Heading into this, Palace actually won the last 3 matches. I just said that. They also kept a clean sheet in those last 3 matches as well. The bookmakers odds, Bournemouth are had a bit of a bad run. 7-5 for Bournemouth. 23-10 is the draw. 15-8 is the away win. A win for we haven't even brought up the graphic. A win for Bournemouth, currently find themselves in 18th, could see them rise above Brighton into 15th. A win for Palace in 11th, could see them rise above Tottenham into 8th. Going to go with a 2-0 win for the Cherries on this one. I don't know why, I'm just going to go with it. Next up we have it's Newcastle. It's the Geordies. Why are they rich Geordies? Or are they? Or are they the criminal Geordies? We just don't know yet. Up against Sheffield United, heading into this, the last 6 encounters between the two sides. 4 wins for the Toon, 1 win for Sheffield United, and 1 draw between the two sides. Of course, Sheffield United in action against Villa earlier in the week, and they'll lose that one, according to me, but they might bounce back here against the Geordies. Anyway, you got to go all the way back. In fact, way back to 2006 for Sheffield United's last victory against Newcastle. That was at St James's Park. Danny Webber, you remember him? Ex-United player, scoring the one and only goal back in 2006. That was the last time Sheffield United were victorious over the Geordies. Heading into this, though, Newcastle are actually unbeaten in 3 games, picking up a draw against Burnley, a win against West Brom, and a win against Southampton. Meanwhile, Sheffield United currently, if you exclude the first one, unbeaten in 5, picking up the wins against Bournemouth, Reading, Norwich, and Hull. Has also picking up a draw against Brighton. There have actually been Newcastle actually kept a clean sheet in the last 3 home matches, so they fancy the chances on this one. The bookmakers odds on this one taking place on Sunday, the 21st of June. 11-5 for the Toon, 30-10 for Newcastle for Sheffield United. 11-5 is the draw. Very tight odds on this one. Could go either way. This one, win for Newcastle in 13th, could see them rise above Everton into 12th. Sheffield United potentially with back-to-back wins could make up 6 points on everybody else and could go as high as 4th. But that's a mathematical algorithm I'm not really want to think about. But I'm going to go with a win for the Toon. So back-to-back defeats for me for Sheffield United this week. Am I wrong? Probably, but we'll have a look. Next up, we have Villa against Chelsea. Again, another team in action twice. There's never the next 7 to 10 days. They're going to take on Chelsea. High flyers Chelsea. The last 6 encounters between two sides. C1 wins for Villa and 5 wins for Chelsea. That win for Villa was all the way back in 2014 at Villa Park. But the previous 5 encounters have all gone the way of Chelsea. The last encounter was over, of course, at Stamford Bridge. It was a 2-1 win for Aston Villa with a late, well, not a late goal. Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount on the score sheet. Trezeguet getting one to go for Aston Villa. Heading into this, Villa actually lost 5 of the past 5 games, so they're looking shit. Meanwhile, Chelsea just lost once of the past 4 games, and that was against Bayern in the old Champions League. Villa, yeah, we talked about that, and they look pretty ropey at best. Bookmakers odds on this one, taking place on Sunday as well, is Villa 9-2, Chelsea 8-15 on. Red hot favourites 10-3 is the draw. A win for Villa, currently find themselves in 19th. I believe they're going to win the win against Sheffield United, so potentially they could see them rise 28, 31 points. They could go as high as 15th at the end of this match day, but well, for me, it's going to be a tricky one to beat Chelsea. A win for Chelsea today in this game could see them get closer to 3rd. I'm actually going to go with a 3-0 win for Chelsea. Comfortable win in the end. Next up, we have of course, the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. I believe, I think what people are saying is that this could be the game that gives the title to Liverpool. They're just so close. They're on sneezing distance, not coughing distance. You know what I mean? voodoo. We don't talk about that word. Anyway, the last 6 encounters between Everton and Liverpool sees 4 wins for Liverpool, 2 draws, and 0 wins for Everton. It's back-to-back wins for Liverpool, over Everton. They both were at Merseyside, including 2 games this season, one in the FA Cup and one in the Premier League. The Premier League game resulted in a 5-2 win for Liverpool. The last time they played at Goodison Park was a 0-0 draw. In fact, the last 2 times they played at Goodison Park were 0-0 draws. Are we in for a three-peat? Heading into this, Liverpool not in the greatest form, if you look at it. They've actually just won once in the past 4 games, losing to Watford, losing to Chelsea, and losing to Atletico Madrid, crashing out pretty much all of their shenanigans across the board. Everton actually undefeated in the last 7 home matches, of course, under Ancelotti these days, whereas Liverpool have actually won 19 of the last 20 matches in the Premier League. The bookmakers' odds on this one, of course, it's got a time all of its own. Eyes will be on it. 9-2 for Everton for the odds, 3-5 on for Liverpool. 29-10 is the draw on this. Everton, if they are victorious, they could go from, where are they, 12th, all the way up to 9th, and Liverpool, of course, could become champions. Small matter that. I'm going to go with a 4-1 win for the champions-elect, quite comfortably, and they'll do this. I've just seen them run right against Rovers 6-0. So if they beat us 6-0, they're going to beat them 4-1, no problems. And then wrapping up the weekend, it'll be ex-champions, we could say at this point. Manchester City up against them 6-fingered freakazoids. You know who I'm talking about. Burnley, that's right. The freak uniques. Taking on City. Come on then, Manchester City. I'd like to see double digits. This is where they break the Premier League record and thump them absolute 10-0. Anyway, the last 6 encounters between the two sides sees 5 wins for City, 1 draw, 0 wins for Burnley, them scum. The last 4 games has been 4 wins on the spin for City, including the 4-1 win at Turd Moor earlier in the season. Goals from Gabriel Jesus, Rodrigo, and Riyad Mahrez. Robbie Brady getting himself a little bit of a Brucey bonus in the end. However, Burnley looks solid at the moment. The past 5 games unbeaten. The last defeat was against Norwich in the FA Cup, whereas Manchester City come into this 3 wins of the past 4. Their last game, of course, was the defeat against United. City have actually won 28 of the last 33 home matches, and Burnley actually undefeated in their last 7 matches in the Premier League. The bookmakers' odds on this was 6-1 on for City, 14-1 for Burnley, 6-1 is the draw. When I say 6-1, 6-1 on. Red hot favourites, and they're going to go with it. Going to go with a 5-0 win in the end for City on this one. Now, if you're new to the channel, I want you guys to put your predictions in the comment section down below to show me what you think will happen this coming match day. And I've been looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys have been looking forward to it as well. And then we'll feature you next week. But let's just say between you and I that I am the Mystic Meg of the predictions, which next season we will be. We'll see who is the Mystic Meg, because we're going to have the prediction league. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But anyway, let's just say between you and I am correct in all of these. This is what the table will look like at the end of match day number 30. Whopping! There we go, boys. Liverpool would remain top of the table, of course, and they would be champions. Manchester City would be in second, Leicester City in third, 10 points adrift. Just 2 points are clear of Chelsea, and then Man United will be in fifth as it stands. Down the bottom, it will be Norwich, West Ham, and Aston Villa going down. They'll be going down to the Championship. And speaking of the Championship, we'll have those predictions right here on the channel tomorrow. So that, my friends, is just about it. But before then, if you want to support the channel in another way, there is Patreon. I want to throw that out there one more time. You could join the exclusive VIP gang of 9 others. That's right. We're trying to get up to the magic number of 10. So that, my friends, completes this prediction video for matchday number 30 out in the Premier League. Now, I'm absolutely ecstatic about football's return, including the Premier League. And if you are too, make sure you smash the old thumbs up. Of course, I want to see at least 100 thumbs up, folks, to show that you guys are happy, just like me, that the Premier League is back. Now, let's talk a little bit more about what else is going to go on the channel. Next season, I know we're just getting this season back on track, but next season, we're going to have the Prediction League, folks. It'll be run in conjunction with these prediction videos. If you take part in the prediction things in the old comment section down below, you will automatically enter into the Prediction League. So be sure next season, if for sure, to get yourself commenting on a regular basis, and then I could do the math and see just how good a predictor you are compared to me. I'm going to do that across the board, across the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Championship, and any other leagues that will be starting up next season. And I think there's going to be a few more leagues that we're going to be looking at. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm ecstatic. Again, be sure to give the video some thumbs up. I want to see 100 thumbs up on the old video. And of course, if you're new, smash that subscribe. I'm elated the Premier League is back. Are you elated? Show me in the comment section down below that you're happy. And of course, and we're going to be doing it all again as well next week. It's actually going to become quite thick and fast. And at some points, some of these prediction videos will overlap with active games, because the turnaround time is so tight. I just haven't figured it all out yet. But anyway, tomorrow we'll be back again with some Championship predictions, of course. Rovers back in action. We're still in with an outside sniff of the playoffs. Not gonna rule it out just yet. But until then, boys and girls, smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe, and I'll see you next time.